That's so dumb. So if you put that it's for kids, the comments are turned off. But if you say it's not for kids, the comments are turned. That doesn't make no sense. Like, kids are gonna watch it regardless if they want to. And why would they watch me? I'm an idiot online. And I say like adult things. Like, I don't understand. Well, let's at least see if my audio is working. Oh, hold on. I hear something. I think I have to turn my microphone up a little bit. I mean, I'm gonna hear feedback though. It's weird. Adjust the levels too. Wow, my shit's turned all the way up and I can barely hear myself. Which one? You know what? Turn the music off in the game. It's probably going to help a lot. No more music. Goodbye. Like, I'm really really. Am I fucking a freaking? Damn it! I need to stop saying it. There we go. I've turned off. Really. Not fucking freaking. Okay, dude. Now it's gone up a little bit. Okay, after I hear this phrase, I'll know I'm fine. After I hear this phrase, I'll know I'm fine. Okay. All right. Now I'm gonna go back and what I need to do is I need to get a second screen so that I can see the people. See if anybody shows up, I can see. So right now what I do is I just start crafting an alt tab and see if anybody's paying attention to this. They're usually not. It's usually they're not paying attention to this at all because I'm a nobody and I'm trying to become someone, but I don't think it's ever going to happen. So I'm not going to do any off-screen anything. I'm just no, I don't think I am. Let's try it. I've played this game like probably 8 times already, and I get past the second stage to the 4th sciences, but then by then my base is all just kind of broken, and it's so much work that it would take me like twice as long as it did to get there to fix it. So hopefully I've learned what not to do, and maybe I don't have to start over a 15th time. Let's try a new game. I'm just going to hit random like 2 dozen times. Enable critters. Yeah, I don't care about the intro. And I don't think anybody else does. FOUNDRY? Oh wait, do they have different? Oh, they do have different planets. A planet balanced in every way. It reminds me of the spiffing Brit who's like, this game is a perfectly balanced, without any bugs game. So I guess that's the one if you want to make huge bases. A planet covered in snow. guess I'll. Hit random again. You know what? We'll just do the narrative. I don't care. So all the resources are just whatever they are. I don't think I'm going to finish this game this time either, but who knows? I mean, people actually were watching it and really wanted to see it finished for whatever reason. I have no ability to...
Welcome, operator. I'm Carl, your facility management artificial intelligence. Congratulations on acquiring a building permit and a derelict space station on this resource-rich moon, an ideal spot for industrial business endeavors. My goal is to assist you in setting up this factory. Let's run a few basic checks before we get started. Open your map to check your surroundings.
Let's go and click these. I think I had one mod or two mods installed, but it was just to clear land. Then I have realized that being able to wipe out huge chunks of land is probably bypassing the kind of one of the aspects of this game. What am I supposed to be doing? Throwing shit. So I only use the land clearing aspect to quickly dig like rocks. I'm not using it to like basically flat. At least not until I unlock that ability for my satellite. I don't want to see what that does. I also slid those sliders up to max out the resources. So the way I'm basically going to do it is I'm going to do it the way that people do it in Satisfactory, where you just build up off the ground and then you don't have to worry about all the terrain. Just build on top of it. That this is the only two spots where you can get surface base. On the other ones, they're just like dig for it. You gotta drill out and start digging. Alright, there's that. Yes, I'm able to yawn a lot because I have, the doctor says I have, thanks to having a CPAP machine, I have like excessive daytime sleepiness that I'm probably going to have to end up taking some sort of medication for, but I can't afford to go get that medication right now. So, I just have to just be tired all day, no matter what I do. Well, not no matter what I do. I mean, if I get up and I walk around, fine. Which is basically what I do every hour or so. I'll get up and go walk around, which is what you should be doing, because you don't want to be sitting constantly. We're going to have to get some of this. I've never actually used this rock for anything. I don't think there is anything to use it for, although it would be nice. If like, you could take dirt, like run it through a processor, and get something for it. But I don't think that's one of the aspects of doing is just clearing out a little bit of space. You could with the mod that I have installed, you could but also, like, let's just do it on a patch like this so I can refill it back in. Do it this way and then build down, right? I felt like that sort of got rid of part of the point of the game, which is to not be able to do that. Just put it back in. So instead, what I'll be using that ability to do is to just kind of like make, like when I need to run a line like this, and I don't want to spend the next 3 hours digging a trough. I mean, does anybody really want to watch that? Like, oh look, he's digging a trough. That's so interesting. No, nobody wants to watch that. Alright, it's like, I can't really do anything much with this right now, but... there, I viewed the map.
Fantastic.
Are you happy?
There are several ore patches in the vicinity. Equip your ore scanner from the inventory and use it to locate the ore patches.
I'm pretty sure I don't need to do that because there's the one there and one there. Problem done, but here.
To get started, approach both of the ore patches and mine some ore.
Okay, so...
Great! Now that we have an initial supply of ore, we need to smelt it into plates and rods. Go back to your drop pod and use the built-in smelters to create your first crafting materials.
I like to pick these little guys up and then just leave them in the base because then you can see them running around in there. They get in the way a lot, but it'd be nice if you could kick them. Do that on Ark. It'd be nice if you, on Ark, you could have just kicked dinos out of the way. You know, like you're just kind of walking along and there's like a dodo in the way, but instead of killing it, you just kind of run up and drop kick it. Or punch it. And then see like a little trail of feathers and it's flying away. So while that's smelting, we're going to clear out some more land. I'm going to need all of this plant material to start working on automated aspects. So, you see like this ground is about here is about level. 33. This is actually the most level spot I've gotten so far. You know, I learn as much about AI as I can because for some reason people hate AI. And they're like, oh, it's gonna steal jobs from real artists. It's gonna like take away jobs from people who write novels and authors, and it's gonna get rid of the shitty jobs, like the jobs where somebody has to take a huge document and then summarize and not right now, but eventually, it'll summarize a huge document down to just like a few pages so that you can understand it better without reading for the next 14 hours an entire huge document, and you really just need to know certain aspects of it. Like, it'll be good at summarizing things for you, but it's not gonna, it can't create anything. It can only take existing information and compile it down. And even right now, it's just word prediction. It strings together words that it knows from other things. like the way it works, like it'll say, hey, okay, I got 10 possibilities. The fox jumped, and then it's got like 10 possibilities. Like it can say the fox jumped over, under, between, whatever. Like it's got to say like those 3 possibilities, and it says, well, the fox jumped over is probably going to be the word that they would like to see. So I'm going to put over, and then it says, like the next possibilities are the moon, or the barrel, or the lazy dog, or the fence, right? And based on words that it's already seen in what you've written, you're at a farm, so it's not going to put the fox jumped over the moon. It might put the fox jumped over the fence, or the fox jumped over the lazy brown dog, or whatever. So it's not creating anything. It's saying these are the predictions of words that come in order that make sense to you. It's not going to sit there and come up with an epic story about a fox that was running from the farmer and went on this wild goose chase to wear him out so he could eventually get away. Like, it's just going to predict what's coming next. And one of the things that people should know about me before they start watching any videos that I make is that I tend to go off like on random tangents, just talking about whatever just pops into my head, because a doctor once told me, well, it's possible you could have when I was a kid, a doctor, my grandmother, while she didn't do any weird stuff to any of us, she wasn't necessarily the most understanding person in the world. So she didn't want her kids to be, as she said, the R word that you guys hate so much.
Now that we have basic materials available, we should start crafting building blocks which act as a foundation for other buildings.
Let me let him talk.
To do so, you need to open the crafting menu and click the desired items. Then, place them in the shape of a platform next to one of the ore patches. The orange ore will be in higher demand. I suggest starting with that.
Okay, there you go. You remind me of that little kid in that fucking show that for some reason I think the internet makes your brain lazy. Every time you can't think of something, you go on Google to look it up, right? So I think it's made my brain lazy, where it's like, no, I can't remember what it was. The Walking Dead. See, it just finally came. That's all I can think of when I see it. Carl was talking to me. Alright, so what do you want me to do? 30 building blocks. There. Let's see, where's the next one? Or those llamas. Sometimes I think of those llamas in that clip. It's like, Carl, you just killed someone. It's like, no, he's just asleep. Well, I like to bring these so I know kind of like its area, so I know where. Two llamas that patches, I'm not sure. I think they're llamas. Well, see, right? I stabbed him.
To automate ore extraction, we need to set up a drone miner. Craft one and place it on top of your foundation right next to the ore patch.
Okay, there we go. That's all plugged in. So now when I scan this, it should just all be inside. So we're gonna have my base going that way. Yeah, so I'm probably gonna have my base kind of filling in all of this area, but yeah, 'cause I'm surrounded by a mountain. And, you know, you could imagine having to dig all that out by hand. That would friggin' suck so bad. But if, you know, when you use the device, you can just kind of, you know, get out. So what I'll end up doing is building up about, you know, probably 5 or 10 high, something like that. And that'll leave me room to run lines under the base. I've tried before running them above the base, like on a separate floor, kind of like Satisfactory, where you would build like a, you know, like a 6 or 8 wall high main floor to build on, and then you would build like a 2 wall high upper floor to run belts through. But it didn't work for me because the belts are way different than this. So this is one of those instances where I just use thing to dig it out. Some more. I made my mistake once of telling it I just wanted these, and then I had to hand drill for hours. Craft a drone miner. Drone miner. See, then I can alt-tab over to the Foundry window and watch myself. See, and there's nobody here. I don't expect anybody. Usually the only people that show up are on Twitch, and they're to try and get me to buy something. Like, hey, you want us to manage your channel for you? It looks like you're blowing up on Twitch. And it's like, you're the only person that's ever been here. Just stop.
Drone miners and most other buildings require power to function. Let's build a biomass generator on the same foundation as the drone miner. Once built, you need to harvest some plants and trees with your mining drill to collect biomass. Insert the biomass into the generator and it will start to power all buildings on the same foundation as the generator.
Okay, since I'm not clearing that out right now.
Go watch your mining drones acquire your first automated ore. Aren't they beautiful? Anyways, we need to get going. Let's build a smelter next.
There's your smelter. Oh yeah, it has to be on foundation too, doesn't it? This back in. You can always tell because it's a little bit darker for some reason. In reality, it should be, you never have enough dirt to refill it back in, because in real life, you never do. You'd be outside digging a hole, and then next thing you know, you'd be trying to fill it back in, you're like, oh, I don't know dirt.
The smelter is more efficient than the inbuilt drop pod smelter, so you should start using this from now on. Another benefit is that we can automate the smelters to make our life easier. For this, you need to connect the drone miner to a smelter by using loaders and conveyor belts. Let's start by crafting the required machines. 2 loaders, one for the smelter and one for the drone miner, as well as a few belts to connect them. While you're crafting those, let us recap the plan. We will set up a basic factory to provide us with the most crucial resources to get started. Then we'll look at getting the space station up and running again so that we can use it as a sales hub for our future products. You have the machines necessary to connect the drone miner to the smelter. Now, attach a loader to each machine and connect them with conveyor belts. Great! We connected the machines and have automated the tedious process of moving items by hand. Isn't automation great? Now it's time to scale up and build more smelters. A single belt full of ore can feed multiple smelters using the power of loaders. The info database has a diagram if you need one. A loader only adds enough items at a time to a machine to ensure it doesn't stop. This makes it easy for you to have multiple machines fed by a single long belt.
It would be nice if I could listen to music while playing games, but unfortunate. By the way, you did pick this one up too. I think for this playthrough, I'm gonna leave him sitting there. And then just move him up one when I build, like when I build the floor, I'll move him up. So he's still in the same exact spot, but higher up on the platform. Yeah, all these people want is to get access to your accounts that they can take over. Then they have access to your Google Drive and your email and all of your banking stuff. Because a lot of people put their banking stuff with, their same account. It just makes it easier to click on a button and say log me in than it does to remember 43 passwords.
We have completed our initial mission of setting up a smelting facility. We've done a great job, haven't we? According to our business plan, new machine blueprints will be created from research. My archive contains plans for a research server. Through material analysis, I should be able to provide a beacon blueprint, which we are going to need to notify the station of our planetary location. Let's get going and build a research server.
Yeah, I think one of these can handle 8 of these. But then you start doing mass smelting where it's just constantly going and you quickly find out that's not actually the case. Also, I learned a little later on in the game that it doesn't matter if you have this turned this way or that way. You can also turn it this way and pull it in, coming towards you. Which it now makes it a lot easier because when I do my thing this time, I'm going to just have them both go that way and then put a I don't have a research thing out. Go and make one. This way I can show the blueprints. My idea is I miss the Factorio belts where where the belt is like this, right? But the loaders are on both sides. And then you'd have a product on this side and a product on this side. I miss that aspect of the belt. This chunk right here will last a good long time. The problem is that once I start building the platform going out, you burn through it real quick. I basically had to have a specific one just to make these, so that I can come back and have them ready. I'm gonna put this just right here for just.
To advance in research, you need to make science packs. Craft a few by hand and insert them into the research server to research the beacon blueprint. There is a previously prepared drop pod with an additional robot assistant on the station. We can call it once we've placed the beacon.
In order of making things, the second you have them available, if you play this game, the second you have them available, do second loader, and then prepare like some of these machines, like these ones, to run on 3 to 5 lanes, so that you don't have to destroy it all again. Like, I'll do it in the stream as well. So my primary goal for blue, red, and what was it, green sciences is to get second and third lane unloaders unlocked. Like, I'll have the incinerator, but it's only just to get rid of dirt. And also ore refinement, because you want to have your ore going into the base at a general spot, so that in the future, when this patch inevitably runs out, because it will, it doesn't tell you how many ores there. I don't even know if that's an option, but eventually, I'll have to go all the way over here once I unlock the mining force. And instead of having to redo all my belts for a new input, I will just have, yeah, that's the other thing too. The other thing you want to unlock, make it a priority to unlock, is the freight elevator 1 and 2 eventually, but at least freight elevator 1. Because I thought what it did was just make an actual visual elevator where you stand on it and it takes you down and then up. But I think that's this. And what it does is it makes a vertical, like in Satisfactory, there's a vertical belt. Well, that's what that does. It gives you the ability. Sorry, I'm still yawning. It gives you the ability to have your materials come in at the bottom and leave at the top, or come in at the top and leave at the bottom. It makes it so much more useful than trying to put ramps everywhere.
Got it. We now have the beacon blueprint. Craft it and place it, but not too close to your existing machines. Those drop pods tend to land right on top of the beacons. Great, now you might want to take a step back and look up.
I like how slow it comes in, just like la la.
A real groundbreaker. This Corporate Command Companion Bureaucrat bot, C3BB for short, will help us with the administration of our factory. First, let's help him out of that drop pod by deconstructing and placing it in a safe location.
Yeah, that's as good place as any.
Welcome to the ground, C3BB. We have completed setting up our basic manufacturing infrastructure. What's the situation on the space station? It's about to break apart, you say? Spontaneous explosive disassembly. That's extremely troubling. What now? There's a working construction drone bay that we can use to repair the station? Perfect. Let's establish contact and repair the most critical parts. We need to research the space station terminal.
Yeah, Yeah, I suggest skipping that part for now because I'm running out of technium rods. I've got plenty of plates thanks to me. So what I can do is grab this. Also, as a secondary priority is to any sort of enhancements you can get for your suit, like get those too. So I don't want to spend all day doing that. So we're just gonna grab this, clear out a little chunk of land. You also got to be careful with that because sometimes you'll pick up your base. You don't want to. You don't want to be rebuilding 6 hours of work because you weren't paying attention. Yeah, I really like the AI. It's great. I think it's getting better and better. And like anytime, like there's one called Sora, Sorrel, something like that. Anyways, it makes music, and originally the music was terrible. Like it was just like random drums or something playing that sometimes sounded good, but usually it was garbage. And now it's like literally you can have it make almost any sort of music. And yeah, I get that AI is built on the backs of others, but here's the thing. If I was to say, read like 100 books, right? Just 100 novels based on, I don't know, the rise and fall of Julius Caesar, because I did read some books about that once, and they were really good. And then I was to take what I learned from those books, whether real or not, factual or fiction, and I was to write my own book. Everybody liked, well, not everybody, but a good amount of people liked it, so I was successful at it. People would say, "Oh yeah, he just he read a lot of stuff and it's cool. Like he made his own book." But now you fast forward, and I was to say, train an LLM on what is this? Oh, okay. My mouse, I had to take it apart once because I broke it. But if I was to take those same 100 books and buy them, right? Get one copy of each one, like a PDF, or whatever from whatever, and I was to scan those into a large language model, and then I was to have it help me write a book. Like I was writing the book, then I'm like, hey, blah blah blah, and it just kind of gave me whatever information it knew because I asked this and the words are in whatever. People would lose their minds and say that I'm stealing from other people's pockets. Meanwhile, I'm just using a machine to help me with my writing. And I have my own sort of project that I'm doing. I'm going to do it on a different channel because I want to keep gaming and what I'm doing there different, separate. Mostly because I want to do. Yes, and I say I don't have a stammer or a stutter or any of that kind of stuff. I just have an inability now that I'm getting older to better articulate what I want to say, and I have to think about it because I come from a generation of people who didn't give two shits about political correctness. We openly mocked it. So I have to really kind of think about what I want to say and say it in a way that it won't be terribly offensive to everyone, because I sort of believe in the idea that what you say can have consequences, and you're not being canceled, you're just suffering those consequences. In a popular phrase that people like to say right now is F around and find out. So if you F around and then you find out, you can't really complain that you're being canceled because you're just finding out. And yeah, I realize those words are going to come back to bite me in the ass someday, but I just hope not. Because I hope that the community, that if I'm able to build one, is one that understands that people make mistakes, and if they own up to those mistakes and they want to like try to do better in life, I think we should give those people the opportunity. But if after we give them the opportunity they just do the same thing that they were doing, they're just doing it less, or they're doing it a different way, then F those people. Like, let's take for example Tim Pool, right? If he in like a few years from now was like, listen, I should have not taken that Russian money, I should have turned it down, I should have known better. I really want to do better, and I hope I could get other people to give me a chance. Like, okay, sure, let's give him a chance. Maybe he's gonna do better. But the next day he's right back at the same thing he was doing last week. No, that person is not being canceled. He's just not being watched anymore. And you just have to accept. Like, also sometimes somebody's content changes, where they go from doing videos about whatever it is they were doing videos about. I don't want to come up with any examples. Like, let's say you're doing, like, let's say a guy who killed his channel and then rebuilt it because he realized nobody cares about his music and nobody cares about his live streams anymore, where he just sits with his top off with his man titties hanging out. Like Review Tech USA, right? He had a channel where he was doing reviews of technology, and he was in the USA, so it made sense, his channel name. And then one day he decided he wanted to do like video gaming, talking about video game stuff, and a lot of people left. A lot of people said, that's not what I'm here for. That's what I'm here for, Jack. I'm here for tech stuff. And then some people came back and they're like, hey, you know what, I like the video game reviews. And then he wanted to do politics and stuff. And then people were like, I'm not here for that. And they left. And he didn't get those viewers back. And then he wanted to do his own music production, which, I mean, is it really that hard to take drum beats and snares and things that you found online and piece them together into a song? It's really got some effort to it, but you know what? People weren't interested. So he lost a lot of followers, and then he rage quit YouTube because he couldn't stop ripping people off, and that's what happened. He did a whole lot of effing around, and then he found out. And if he came back and he said, look, I'm really sorry for what I did in the past, and I hope that people can look past that and see that I'm trying to do better, I think I'd give him another chance. In fact, I'm going to just, because I'm curious. Let's see. Okay, nobody's in this channel, so I don't have to worry about it. Let's go review. See, it even now shows him as a musical artist. He's not a musical artist. He's not an artist. You're a guy who pieced together other people's work. You're like basically an AI, but as a human. Because you didn't actually create anything. You just, stuck it all together. So let's see. Where is... Yeah, now I guess he's trying to go back to his roots. I don't know. Still got the shirt thing off. Let's go to I'm gonna go to YouTube and type in. Yeah, now his name is Rich Tomorrow. I'm not gonna shit on people all day. I don't want to do that. I'll do that in a different thing. Like, I'll make a political channel where I'll label it politics. Nobody's here. Anybody who comes here isn't going to be here to listen to me ramble. So, I mean, if you just want to watch like, it'd be cool. Oh, here's what would be cool. It'd be cool if YouTube had the ability that you could do a multi-audio stream. so that you could have the gameplay with its own game audio, and then you can have commentary on top of it. And then this way, if you don't want to hear me talking, and you just want to see how I'm playing game, you could just watch that part. And then if we wanted to, we could go through later on, and it could detect when you like mention certain things, and then you know mark it so that it's like yeah, I don't want to hear that. So he's back. He's got 70K subscribers because he's got a huge following on Twitter and stuff, so it's not that hard to rebuild. And he's just basically talking about the Nintendo Switch. Okay, I see what he's done. So he's taken no, yeah, maybe this is his streaming channel and he renamed it because he's got a bunch of streaming clips on it. So this must, yeah, I don't know. It's got some content from like 7 years ago, and then like 1, 2. Yeah, I guess this is just all. I guess he didn't care about his content enough that he would just delete it all, and then he posted clips, and now he's just whining about all of this stuff. What I think actually happened, and this is just a conspiracy that I just right now thought of. I think him and like someone else were doing a revenue share on the channel that he couldn't get out of, and he didn't want to continue to do that, so he deleted his channel so that it would get rid of that, and then restarted a new channel or rebuilt from another channel, and that's how he's doing it. Because he, in the past he has trying to think of the right word, scammed people. That's not me trying to be funny. Like, oh, he's a scam. Like, no, he literally, begged everybody for a camera and then sold that camera for money. And then said, oh, I'm gonna donate the money to charity, guys. I'm not scamming anyone. I'm totally just gonna donate it. Oh, are you? Are you really? I'm gonna let that do its thing while I see what this robot wants to talk about. I actually know what he wants to talk about. Yeah. There.
I agree. Preventing the space station from falling apart is our highest priority. Let's set up a connection and initiate emergency repairs. I'll guide you through the
So
process.
here's the fun thing. You can take these seeds and then like just plant them. That's what I do to get them out of my inventory early in the game. Put this little guy right there. Because they don't despawn. They don't just wander around. I just need rods to make a smelter. Yeah, so I need electronic components, and that's rods. Like, I'm browsing through it. This is one guy that I like. Look at what is this guy named Generic Art Dad? He makes videos that have made me think, maybe he's on to something. What I have. Because my entire life, I've never been able to focus on one. Like, ever ever since I was a kid. Is he outside? Did someone leave the dog outside? See a video of me trying to fix a chair that I used to sit in when I was 650 pounds. That was great. So I just had to go do something real quick. Like I said, I'm not going to turn the stream off or pause it or any of that stuff. I'm just going to leave the window like it is. Because this is, this whole intro, this whole start, like these videos, is me getting comfortable with recording myself and trying to be better at the whole video production, so that when I do have an audience and I'm trying to grow it, I don't have a lot of this, like but you know, like my ultimate goal would be to have it so that I can see, there I go with the ums again, is to have it so that I can, you know, I just realized whether or not I say I'm still going to pause. Maybe I should just try not to say like a long time ago I trained myself to not say I would like a drink, or I'm going to have a drink, or I'm going to get a drink. Instead I trained myself to say beverage, because drink is something you do. It's not a something. You can take a drink. It's kind of like that thing where they say water is not wet, but water can make things wet. Because it's like water is a thing. I don't know. I don't know how that works. I'll look it up and try to explain it better. It's funny watching the videos of the black dude who's like, what is this? And then they're like, it's water. He goes, but this is wet. And they go, no. And then he goes, and he sprays like a shirt. And he goes, but this is wet. And they go, yes. And he's like, but it's water. And they go, yes. And he's like, but water is not wet. And they're like, yes. And he's like, no, water is wet. You know, whatever. And he freaks out. Like, see, there, look, I've already gone on a tangent. Anyways, my ultimate thing would be kind of like do something like other YouTubers do, where they're playing a game but they're also talking about stuff, and then you know, they kind of switch back and forth. Like that would be something like I'd like to do. But why try to do that now when what I need to do is become, one, focused on what I need to do, like playing this game, and two, not talking about things that are not this game, to a point where I'm just rambling off about something. And I've had people tell me that it's really annoying trying to talk to me, because we'll be talking about something and I'll just go off talking about something else. Like, for example, I was talking to a person, a friend. I could consider him a friend. They may not consider me a friend. They may just consider me someone they know online that they currently like. Where I consider people friends until they're no longer my friend. Like, I will respect you as a person. If you want me to call you she, even though you're a he, I don't care. I'll do it because I like you. It has nothing to do with like you must respect my pronouns. Like I don't have to respect anything. I'm not from this generation. Respect in my generation is something you earn or are given a modicum amount of, and then you build it up. Like I'm gonna like when I meet you, I'll like you to a point. Like I'll hang out and talk to you. I'll even talk about politics as long as you're not one of those people that want to beat you up because you don't like the person that they like. Like I don't care. I know people who voted for Trump. I know people who voted for Biden. I know people who voted for Kamala. It doesn't matter to me who you voted for as long as you're not a dick. That's all that matters. Is as long as you're not a dick, we're fine. And yes, every time whoever you voted for does something shitty, I'm gonna mention it. If it's terribly shitty. Like, as a brief example, if your guy you voted for is deporting people, and yes, sometimes it's American citizens, but like they deported a girl's family who has cancer because they're not citizens, but at the same time it will also deport the child because what are they going to do? Say, oh yeah, okay, I'm going to leave my child here who's an American citizen. Like, no, they're going to take their kid with them because they love their kids. They're not disposable like Republicans think they are. So yes, Trump did deport an American citizen because by proxy, by deporting their family who was not doing anything wrong, like, other than being here, a civil infraction, they will then also deport, like, let me put it this way. If I go and I blow up a car, you could say that I blew the car up. But if there's like a family of 4 in there, and 2 of them are children and one of them's a baby and the other one's the mother, you could say I murdered a whole family because that's what I did. I blew up a car filled with people. It's not that difficult to understand what it means when somebody says Trump deported American citizens, because he did. He deported the family, which had no choice but to take their children with them. Just like if I blew up a car with a family of 4 in it, I murdered a family because I blew the car up. And it doesn't matter if it was an accident or not. I still did it, right? I mean, it's a hypothetical. I've never killed anyone or shot them. I've been in a fight before, but I lost them. I lost both fights. Because I didn't know how. That's why you're never going to see me in a video going, "Yeah, I'll fight anyone, just come on down." Like, that's never going to happen because I get my ass kicked. I do let the dog out because if I don't, he'll leave these things we call gifts on the floor, landmines. Let's get back to this thing. Yeah, I was watching a video of a guy who was like, "There's not a single liberal content creator I wouldn't love to spar with," and then you got like these huge fucking massively built dudes who are like, "Yeah, come on, bro, I'll fucking take you." And he's like, "Oh, wait a second. What I meant was, guys, there's no way I can take on these." I'm like, "Hey, bro, you shouldn't have ran your mouth." All right. We would like 2, 3, 4. Clear out those ones. This four in here. Like when this is all emptied out, I'm gonna empty this out. I didn't say that. What I meant, when all of this ore is mined and there's just a hole here, I'm gonna fill the hole in with dirt, make it flat. In fact, I may dig down with the clearing mod. And kind of dig it down a little bit and make like a basement. I used to do that in Minecraft. It would be nice if there was like a mining thing, you know, where you could mine all the dirt and stuff, and then you'd get random minerals, and eventually you'd get ores, you know? Because right now, if you went outside with a magnet into some sand, you'd get little pieces of metal, metal filings. Let's see, 5 of those. And I think I have enough of these to run all the way across. Hey, can you get out of there? Can I? Oh, good. Okay. I thought that's what that did. Also, these guys empty out too. So in some cases, what I used to do is I'd put like 4 of these here, or 8 or 16 or whatever, and I'd run 2 lines, and then I'd have this one and then a 2 lane coming out for a second line. But what I came to understand was that you do it that way. What you end up doing is you just have like 1 or 2 of these running, and the rest are just sitting there full of ore waiting. So it makes it less useful. So this time what I'm going to try doing is running like I'm going to try to build in a way that it's more efficient, because I was like totally inefficient. I was making these huge bases and just repeating stuff that wasn't very efficient. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to make it like this. Go ahead and make some of those. 2 of these. Oh, I don't have the other piece. Let me show you the other piece I'm thinking of. No power. Obviously. Oh, I guess I don't have enough. So, in the research interface, there's a combiner, right? This thing here. So here's what I was thinking. Right? This thing has 2 inputs, and you can make it into 1. So what I'm thinking is, where's that? Alright, so I'm thinking, I'm not gonna leave this. Here's what I'm thinking, right? Is I would take it and go like this. So I have 2 coming out, and then I would put 2 outputs like that, right? And then those 2 like that. 'Cause you can have these coming out like this, and it's the same speed. It doesn't matter. I mean, yeah, it sort of you know, depends on how fast your drone's going, but go like this, and then put the joiner here. Just have the 1. As for now, I can just do it like this. Okay, I guess it's not a lot built up inside of it. Anyways, yeah, that's what I was thinking. I don't want this right here right now. Early in the game, you kind of need more of these. And they're already getting filled up. But right now, I'm sort of running out of those. trying to get sympathy for anything. Because I made my bed and I have to lay in it. When I was a kid, my grandmother wasn't. I mean, I didn't realize it at the time, and it didn't take someone telling me to realize it. It's just something I realized from the internet, watching videos of other kids' families, hearing stories from other people about how they used to do this, and the other thing. And I realized my grandmother was abusive. Her go-to, if you did something wrong, her go-to was just to beat the shit out of you. That's just how it was. We didn't really question it because we're kids, and if you did question it, you were likely to receive a beating. So what we did is most of us kids, we either did what we did without anyone finding out, or thinking I have enough power. No, I have enough power. You know what, I'm just going to connect these two real quick. I guess I'm not. That should effectively double power. No, it made it even worse. That's probably because this one isn't. Yeah, it's running. Anyways, whatever. She was she never did anything weird to us. Like, she wasn't like Michael Jacksoning us or anything. Allegedly. But like, she liked to, like, I remember one time I got suspended in school. I didn't do anything wrong. It's just that teachers didn't really like me. I know it's gonna be very. You're gonna figure out very quickly why teachers didn't like me. Kids didn't like me. No, nobody liked me. I was one of those kids nobody liked. All right, they exist. I'm one of them. I'm not proud of it, and I realize why later on in life, and maybe today I'll talk about that. But yeah, so I'm just going back to check the YouTube thing, make sure nobody's here trying to talk to me. So anyways, I wasn't liked. Kids didn't like me. Most of the teachers that I had didn't like me, and I didn't like me. So it was no surprise when my family didn't like me. I just wasn't liked, alright? And it never bothered me, because I used to tell myself, like, I'm not here to be liked. I'm just here to exist. So, anyways, I got suspended in school because the teacher used to put me out in the hallway because she didn't like me. Probably, you know, I'm a fat kid. At this point, close to being morbidly obese. And I had no self-esteem, and I was argumentative. If I always felt like the teachers were against me, and in most cases they were. I got suspended because I took my toy to school lunch. I had one of those. They were like they looked like they were Transformers, and they kind of looked like a Walkman. And they had these little tapes that you could put inside of it. I think it was called like. It wasn't a boombox. Let's see if I can find it. Transformers. No, not Wallman. Soundwave. Yeah, it was called Soundwave. So I had this thing, and I don't remember if it played tapes or not. I don't think it did. I don't even think the little tapes worked. It was like from the 1980s. I got it from a thrift store. I don't know how much they're worth now, but I'm pretty sure they're expensive as heck. Because it came with 5 little cassettes. And I think they transformed. It's been a really long time since I had this thing. And I'd love to get another one, but, you know, I'm never going to be able to afford that. like not an OG one. I don't want the remake version that probably plays MP3s or any of that stuff. I want the original, preferably in the box, even though I'm going to take it out of the box. So it could be an open box. I don't care. I want to play with it. So it came with these little things. I think one of them turned into a little dog, like a little wolf, and then one turned into a bird, and I don't remember what the other ones did. But teacher took it away from me because I wasn't playing with it. I just had it. Because when you're a kid and you get something really cool, you want to show. If you had like two friends, which I think I had one friend, maybe two, when I was in elementary. I was in the sixth grade. So I had this friend, and we had Transformers. We play on the playground. I think he was just an outcast like me. I think we were both kind of outcasts. Oh, here's a picture of it. I think. Yeah, maybe one of them was a gun or something. I don't know. Anyways, I was going to school. He may not even been my friend. He may have just been someone who would put up with me. But anyways, we go to school. We play Transformers and play cars and stuff. Anyways, it was a long time ago. It was like 30 something years ago. I don't really remember the details vividly. I do remember having this toy though, and the teacher just straight up walked over and said, "Give me the toy," and I told her no, and she said, "I said give me the toy," and she snatched it out of my hand. And I got so angry, I snatched it back and like broke one of her fingernails off. Like at the, she had those fake nails, so it like snapped it off because her finger got caught in it, and I didn't care. And she goes, "Take your desk and go." And I said, "You want my desk? You take it out there. I'm not taking it out there." And she grabbed my desk and dumped it out on the floor. And then drug my desk outside and then told me to pick up my stuff and then called me a boy. And I told her, "Fuck you," and I grabbed my stuff and shoved it into one of those cardboard boxes. You know those boxes they store vanilla envelopes in? Like the white, like in a movie when somebody's getting fired and they hand them that white box with stuff in it. Like she just threw that at me, and I took all my stuff and I just kind of slid it into the box like it was a dustpan, and my hand was the broom. I just shoved it all in there. And wow, this story is getting really long. Went outside to the area where my desk was like laying on its side. Picked it up. So we had these desks that they didn't have drawers or anything in it. What they did was they were kind of tilted towards you a little bit, and you raised them up. Like you lifted the lid up, and then you had like a basin with all your possessions in it. And all of my possessions, I just sort of dumped in there. Didn't care. But I know one thing: I had my toy, and she wasn't getting it because this was the one thing that I had that I loved more than anything. And so I'm sitting out there, and she comes outside, and she's like, "Give me the toy, you can come in." And I said, "I don't want to come in. I'm perfectly happy out here." And that sort of started my whole rage thing, where I just like being by myself doing stuff. So I'm out there, I'm doing my own thing, and she sends me to the principal's office. And I go to the principal's office, and they're like, "You're being suspended for 5 days for hitting the teacher." And I was like, "Hey, teacher." Tried to take my thing, and I took it back. And he's like, "I don't care what she said. She said you hit her, so you hit her." And so my grandmother wasn't at home, and back then you had phone lines, like just regular lines, and she wasn't there. And so they sent me to my uncle's house, who was also not a nice person to me. Loved everyone, all my other family, just didn't like them. And so I'm sitting in his car, and he drives around looking for my grandmother. She's pissed at this point. She is like, "I'm gonna beat his ass." when I get home. You are getting your ass beat. And I'm like crying like a bitch because I was. And so finally gets me in the car, and I told her I didn't do it. I don't know. I didn't hit her. I didn't do anything. I was just minding my own business, and she got mad at me and flipped my desk over. You know, I'm gonna lie. I lied a little bit. I knew how much of a lie I could get away with, so I lied, and she went down to the school. And the teacher's like, "Well, he didn't hit me. He just took what I took from him back." And she looks at me. She goes, "What'd she take?" And I go, "She took my transformer because they said we can have our toys, but you know we had to have them outside, and she didn't like that I had it and took it away from me, and I took it back." And she goes, "Well, there's no problem with that." And just went home, and I didn't get my ass beat that day. But she did yell at them, which was kind of funny, and they took the 5-day suspension off. So the story wasn't all that funny. Anyways. There's plenty of times when me or my brothers would get a beating in the middle of the night because somebody told her something like, oh, god damn it, that reminds me of that story. I'll tell that one later because I'm not here to tell stories already. Anyway, she just wasn't a nice person. She would guilt trip you, gaslight you. I didn't really understand what gaslighting was until later on in life. But back then, I would have known if I had known now what I knew. If I'd known then what I know now, I would have known it for what it was. You know, she'd gaslight you. She would, like, if you asked her for anything, there was one time I needed books for school, and she had money that my mother at the time owed me. She'd given it to my grandmother, which I told her I'd never do that because I'll never see it. Well, I needed that money to buy school books. And she's like, "What do you need school books for? Just get them from the library." And I was like, "That's not how college works. I need the money to buy the books." And she didn't want to give me the money because to her, it was her money now. Like, she didn't care that it was my money. She was, supposed to give it to me. And you know, I ended up never getting that money. She sold me cars and then blew them up, and then didn't tell me that she blew them up until after I'd already paid it off. And then told me, tough luck. Like, who does that to their kids? Like, what kind of asshole does stuff like that? And, when she died, I didn't really care. I was like, oh, I'm free now. So anyways, all those years, I didn't like myself, but I liked food. So that's what I did. I just ate. And now my shit's turned off. I need to get more. So the good thing about that mod, going back to what I was actually doing in this game, is that you could actually go like this, right? Just kind of find yourself a rock, drag it like this. There, now I have biomass. 36 of it. But you sometimes don't get as much as you do with the drill, so I'm just going to just do that. Yeah, she was not a nice person. My aunt, she's even worse. There's some stories I could tell about her, but if she ever saw the videos, pretty sure she'd be very pissed off at me. There's a story that I could tell, and I'll tell it if I ever hit 1 million followers. Like if I ever get whatever plaque you get from YouTube for having 1 million followers, and I actually receive it, I will within a month make a video telling my darkest story. And I don't know if it's really all that bad. I feel like it is. I feel like it's something that I did when I was a kid that I'm not exactly all that proud of. And I got some weird stories. What was I doing? I need to research the space terminal. First, I need to get these powered back up. So I'm not really going to worry about the space terminal right now. Instead, what I'm going to worry about is getting... terminal right now. What I'm going to worry about is power automation. And where is, see, there's no ability to search, so I can't search through these, which is really annoying. There, the burner generator. So the burner generator unlocks the ability to get ignium, right? So that's what I'm going to focus on. So I need to unlock space station terminal. So let's go do that. I need three blue ones. 1, 2, 3, 4. Whoops. 1, 2, 3. Like one time, my auntie, she's white, so she's just an aunt. I'm not gonna say her name. I'll never use anybody's names unless they're dead, or or like something happens and like I have to. But my aunt, she she sort of pretends like she likes me. She only liked me to rant about my grandmother, her mother, and she has things that I've asked her to return to me, but she won't, and there's nothing I can do about it, short of taking her to court. Like, I could sue her for the possession of the items, but, you know, will I get them? Probably. It costs so much money. She has a photo album. She has no business having. It was my grandmother's photo album. They're not her photos. My mother stole it when she got kicked out. She was a terrible person. My mother was like. I live in a family where a lot of them were just terrible. My uncle was bad. Is a terrible person. My mother was a terrible person. My aunt is a terrible person. I don't know why I keep calling her aunt. She's not black. You know, the saying that she's your auntie is like what black people say. White people say aunt. My aunt, I guess you could say auntie. It doesn't matter. And before somebody finds this video in like 10 years from now, probably after I'm dead, and they're like, oh, so this is calling African Americans blacks. My brothers are all black. Well, one of them's white. Also a piece of crap. But his dad is completely black. Like, I met his dad when I was a kid. And, you ever see those commercials, or you ever hear those jokes where, well, you know, I'll just say it. He was so black that, how can I say it without being racist? There's really no way. He's very dark. Like, if you see a color palette and you see the one that says black, that's how black he is. He's like from like Nigeria or something, you know. He didn't have like a Rastafarian tone or like I almost did an imitation. He didn't have like the Nigerian accent or anything, from what I remember, because I was like a little kid. I just remember he's extremely dark skinned. There's the safe word I can say. He's dark skinned. Extremely dark skinned. And anyways, he's his father. So he likes to pretend like he's not black. He likes to say he's white. He's not. He just somehow got the white side of the family. Like Civil War kids who, you know, are the children of people who were raped. That was just messed up. We're having another problem. Come on. So are we done with this? Oh, I didn't put the, there we go. Yes, I will. Well, I'm trying to get unlocked right now is storage crates. I don't want to build a bunch of those little ones. So what I want to do is I want to get this one unlocked. To get that one unlocked, I gotta unlock assembler 1 and a basic infrastructure. So that and that. And then I can unlock burner and painter. Anyway, just in a nutshell, I have my family's what you would call white trash. My uncle was, I can't really say the phrase, but maybe ghetto rich. Like, he married a woman who had money, spent it all on stupidity, and then sold her property after she was dead that had been in the family, allegedly, since she was, since her grandparents bought it. Just sold it. You know, whatever. I need the money. And it's more about me than it is about anything else.
Now that we have the blueprint, we need to build the terminal to finally get a connection to the station's command center.
No, we do not.
Once built, open the control menu and start the emergency repairs upgrade. Luckily, the station has a pretty big stock of construction materials, so we don't have to worry about that for a while.
And how much do I need for this guy? I need 5 for that one. 15, so I need 20. 10, 15, 20. I'm not going to bother building another one of these guys until I automate blue science. I like to automate blue science in a way that I don't have to. Okay, so my plan I just came up with. Am I moving slow? Oh, because my fingers are off. So my plan is I'm going to build up off the ground and then that way with the main building. And we'll try to build everything into one building and then just expand the building out as I need to. So, like if I need to build that way, right, and I'm like say in this area, but I'm going to hit the mountain, I'll just go up a little bit more and then extend it out so I'm not hitting the mountain. Basically, I'm not doing terraforming. Other than this area that I needed to do, I'm not doing much terraforming. In fact, I'll probably just use that dirt, like I said, to fill this in when it's empty. And to fill that in when it's empty. Which will probably take about 4 to 6 hours. But yeah, my family's what you would call white trash. There's another word, but I don't even... Yeah, I can't really do much while I'm waiting for those to craft. Let's see if anybody's sitting in here with me. I don't think they are. But if they are, I'll just talk to them. Yeah, there's nobody watching us. Wait, why does it say offline? Hold on. That's going to be really annoying, because I'm not going to tell any of this stuff a second time. Like, it may get told later, but it ain't going to get... No, it says I'm still streaming. That's weird. Dang it. Oh, okay. I just had to refresh it. It says there's one in here. Me. There, haha, I got the first one. Okay, let's go back to here and put that down here. I will plant these though, just to sort of get them out of my inventory. I think these give you 12 or 16. Oh, 18. No, 14. Ah, it was in between 12. Just at 12 to 16. These give you 16? Oh, 18. No, I'm gonna make 2 more of those. I do enjoy how my microphone will not pick my voice up sometimes, but it'll pick up some barking on the other side of the house. So, thanks. Anyway, so back to that 650 pounds thing. I know I was about 650 pounds because I went to the doctor's one day, and I'm fat and I can barely walk, and I have to sit down a lot, and basically have to find a chair with no arms. Chair arms, and small recliners are your enemy. And when you're 650 pounds, so I'm 650 pounds, and I'm going to the doctor's, and during the course of the doctor's stay, I reduced my food intake because a doctor told me that I'd have to lose like 100 pounds before they'd see me. So I just thought, all right, I'm gonna lose 100 pounds because I was on Medicaid and yeah, well, not welfare. I can't think of what it's called. Medicare. So I'm on Medicare and Medicaid. I'm not on Medicaid. I'm on the QMB. And I think I've recently just been added to Medicare because I think I'm according to your Texas benefits. 'Cause that's where I live, Texas. So I'm going to the doctors for my legs, and I'm 650 pounds, and it's mainly because about 50 pounds of that is water in my legs because I have lymphedema, and that stuff never goes away. So once you get it, you're done. You have it forever. Now we're gonna do this. Perfect. So I'm like, all right, how do I lose weight? What can I eliminate from my diet that will make me lose weight? Because the key to losing weight, one of them, is you consume less than you do now. If all you do is sit around the house all day and you go to the bathroom, you don't pee in bottles like a truck driver. I know this because I was one. And you get up and you go, do your daily stuff, but you don't drink sodas anymore. Let's say you're drinking, like, say, 6 to 10 sodas a day. You're just chugging them down. Canned soda, maybe 2-liter bottles of soda. Whatever you're doing, that's the only thing you eliminate from your diet is sodas. You will lose weight because you're no longer drinking sodas, which means you're no longer consuming the sugar and the calories from those 10 sodas you were drinking today. Even if you take those 10 sodas and you turn those into, like, from Coke to Coke Zero, or from Dr. Pepper to Dr. Pepper 1, which has like 1 calorie, so those 10 sodas are now 10 calories instead of, like 1,600 or whatever it is. Because I think it's like 160 or 200 or whatever calories per soda. Yeah, I'll just Google it because I don't know. I don't know this stuff by heart. I'm not memorizing. I was drinking Dr. Pepper, so Dr. Pepper nutritional facts. Okay, so it had 150 calories per 12-ounce can. So I was drinking like 10 to 12 of those a day. So I was drinking 1,500 calories a day just in soda. And that's 400 grams of sugar. How much is 400 grams to... What's this? Wow. Let's go 400 grams to cups. I was drinking a cup and 2/3. I was drinking almost 2 cups of sugar a day. So when I eliminated just soda, and that was difficult. I haven't had a soda in a really long time. Occasionally I'll take a sip of a soda and it'll make me feel kind of like, we call it icky, because you don't, like, you get, like, you just feel like gross. I don't know how to explain it. So once I got rid of that, I lost like 50, 60 pounds over the course of a year because I wasn't drinking sodas anymore. And then I went, all right, I need to lose a little bit more. Like, the doctor's like, wow, I can't believe you lost like 60 pounds in a year. How did you do that? And I'm like, I just stopped drinking sodas. Anything was like sodas. I still had like some sweet tea, but I didn't replace soda with sweet tea. I just stopped drinking the sodas, and I had like maybe a glass of sweet tea a day. So there was that, and I was drinking a lot of coffee, but I realized that I was putting more creamer and sugar in my coffee to make up for the sugar I wasn't getting. Like my body wanted the sugar that was in. Is this thing done yet? So I can start on the next. No, it's still going. So my body wanted the sugar, so I was putting more sugar in my coffee. So I just started drinking coffee black. And you know what? It's not bad. Cold coffee black, not actually that bad. Would I recommend it? No. I certainly would not suggest drinking tea black. Oof, no, that is a hard thing to do. That even the British don't do that. Or is it the English? Is it the English or the British? I don't know. Yeah. Oh, look at that. Plates. So this is where we start with the whole thing. Anyways, so I'm down to like 590, 580, somewhere there. And I need to lose more weight. So what I started doing is I started just removing, I just started moving around more. You know, like at first I started going from my chair to the like table and then going around the table and coming back to the chair, and I was exhausted. Because, you know, you're like 590 pounds, but there's not really much you can do without feeling exhausted. Let's grab these. And so I started doing that, and then I started like filling up jugs with water, gallon jugs from all the tea that we were drinking. I'd fill those up with water. And I would carry one as I walked around the table to sort of lose more weight because I'd, have to do more. And here's where it starts to become a problem. Is that you will only weigh as much as your intake. And so when I'm consuming like 6 to 7, maybe 8,000 calories a day in food, you weigh 650 pounds. And when you knock off, 2,000 calories and you're down to 6,000 calories, you lose weight. Is it safe and healthy? I don't know. That's just what I did, and I don't have anybody to guide me through it at this point in time. So that's what I'm doing, and now I have to go on hypertension pills because my blood pressure is through the roof. When you go in and your blood pressure is like 220 over, 90 or whatever. The doctors are looking at you like, "Are you okay? Do you feel all right? Like, lay down for a minute." Like, they're all concerned, like they think you're about to have a heart attack, but this is just, you know. So, I started walking more. I parked a little bit further away from the door, so that I had to walk a little bit further. And, after all of that, I got down 100 pounds, and they sent me to this weight loss place, who then told me that according to Medicare and Medicaid requirements for weight loss surgery, I had to lose 50 pounds. So I had to go from 550 down to 500. So I did it, and then I got the weight loss surgery, where they turn your stomach into a banana, and that was rough. People keep calling that the easy way out. Don't fucking know what they're talking about. It's not the easy way out. It's not easy at all. You have to get a thing where they put a scope down your throat and have a look around at your stomach to make sure you ain't got any ulcers or anything going on in there, which I didn't. You have to go to counseling, which I didn't have to go to counseling. What I had to go to was to a woman in town to talk to, who gave me a test where they asked you the same 24 questions, like 3 or 4 different ways on the form to make sure that you're being honest. And then you go into a room and you talk to her, and you're in there for like an hour, and then she just gives you the okay whether or not you're mentally accepting the consequences of what you're going to do. And so she approved me, and then I went and got the surgery, and yeah, 2 weeks without eating. 2 weeks on a water diet. It sucked so bad. Like, but it only sucked for the first week. The first week was the hardest part. Because you can't eat, you can't have anything. So you get your last meal, which they told you not to think of it that way. Don't think of that as your last meal. But it was. I had biscuits and gravy and sausage, and that was really what I wanted because I knew I wasn't going to be eating this anymore. And I've had it, and it made me feel icky. So I don't have it very much. You go into this doctor, they tell you about what they're going to do to you and the process, and kind of give you a chance to change your mind. I didn't. And then you go to the initial appointment the day before, where they check out your stomach and they make sure you haven't been eating. Here's the thing that I need to unlock. But first I need to unlock burner generator because I don't want to be farming to it. So scanner, then generator, and then the load balancer later. So it's going to be, so it's ore scanner, then generator, then upgrades to my robot inventory and speed or whatever it is, and then I'll work on the other stuff. But anyways, you go do all that stuff, and then you jump through all the hoops, and then the day you're in the hospital, they basically give you a paper robe and then have you strip of everything. Meanwhile, during the 2 years that I'm going through the weight loss process, because I didn't just lose this overnight. It's not like I went, all right, tomorrow I'm going to be lighter. No, it didn't work that way. During this, I'm going for lymphedema, swelling in my legs, plus cellulitis, plus whatever other things I have going on with my legs, that eventually it heals. And the thing is the reason why my legs were constantly needing care is because they put these things called a four-layer wrap, sometimes a 3-layer wrap, depending on where we're at, to compress down on your legs, to keep the fluids from pooling there, so your skin is like all stretched out, so it can't really hold in the fluids that well. And so they wrap your legs up, and during the course of my legs being wrapped, let the dog in. The course of letting my, let me.
I'm getting cat food. No cat food in here for you to get.
Anyways. Okay, big name scanner. I need 10 blue ones. 10. You spend a lot of your time early in making. You know what? Let's go ahead and see what I'm going to need So you go through the trouble of getting that surgery, and you end up basically getting like 80% of your stomach removed. What's it still got me at on this thing? Trying to see how far behind this thing has got me. But how long have I been streaming? Wow, almost 2 hours. Jesus. Anyway, you go through all this trouble of getting your surgeries, and the way I found to help with the not being able to eat anything is, okay, so for the first 2 days are the hardest. Your body wants to eat because it's been eating like every hour or two for like the last 30 years. So your body wants to eat, but you tell it no, and like a little child, it throws a tantrum, and it just constantly, like your stomach just goes, like it just keeps like moving around, like it's trying to digest something. And so you're drinking your protein shakes, which I'm drinking Premier Protein at the time because it was like $7 for 4 of them, and I would drink like one. No, I drink 2 a day. So I'd be drinking like 2 a day, no 3 a day. I was drinking 3 a day. 30 grams of protein each. No, I think they were like 30 grams each allegedly. So 3 a day, sometimes 4 a day, depending. This is 2 weeks, and these things are like $7 a day for food. So, but I was also eating Jello, sugar-free pudding. That was the first week. I could have pudding and things like that. And the second week I couldn't have any more pudding, but I could have Jello. And I would take the Jello and freeze it. I could also have broth, so I drank a lot of broth, and it was like broth, Jello. You know, if you freeze Jello, it tricks your stomach into thinking it's eating, so it shuts up for a while, but then it realizes you tricked it. Oh, no power. There's no power. Oh, we don't get as much biomass from planted stuff. I've never actually harvested it. Sort of planted it. I get the seed and I just put it back down. And then you freeze the Jello, and you just eat it like as a slush, and like sort of rich grain. And then I had to get rid of the pudding, not pudding anymore because it was semi-solid, semi-liquid, semi-solid. And then, after 2 days, your body sort of gives up on the whole food thing. It just complains every once in a while. But after like the 4th day, I never even felt the desire to eat. I was just drinking the protein shakes and eating Jello, and I never really had the desire to eat. I had to remind myself to eat sometimes. It was really weird. They said that your body goes into a certain sort of state where it starts burning fat for energy instead of... Like your body's like, alright, I'm gonna get eating food, so I'm gonna start eating myself. And I was off in surgery, and then I thought, now I'm gonna have something good. And nope. Certainly not been eating anything, much of anything for a long time. You get your solids, and you get those a month later. And I really need to do that. I think I might kind of record what happened when you have to do a reset. So I think that's what I need to do. It's getting a lot easier to eat during the sandwich. And I'm not supposed to be eating bread, but unfortunately, the country decided that we didn't need pandemic era food stamps anymore. So instead of getting like $280 a month in food stamps, where I could afford all of the special foods, I now get about 70. So gone is the deli sliced meat that I used to enjoy. Gone is the wraps that were made out of like spinach or something not made out of flour. Gone is the bread that I used to be able to eat that tasted like sawdust, but at least it helped get you full. Gone is the Premier Protein shakes. Those are all gone now. All the stuff that string cheese, I haven't had that in years. Cottage cheese, can't afford it. Can't afford any of that stuff. So now I just eat what I can, and I try to eat as well as I can. Alright, so I've got that going, and I won't be able to... Oh, that's things I needed to know. Alright, I'm learning Nanium. So I'm going to probably end it around after I get this learned. And then I'll just... Because I gotta go do stuff. Stuff help me wake up. I feel like that guy from that one song. Wake up! I can't sing it because if I do, I'll embarrass myself and I'll get fucking tagged in this. You know the one song where he's like, wake up, put on a little bit of makeup, something, 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 shake up. I don't know how the rest of that goes. He sings it way too fast for me to understand it. But since I'm not doing any of that, here we go. Boom. I guess I could start making the floor. Alright, let's get wide to go vertical. Let's go 9. So I'll leave 8 spots under. Turn that to a Y. That's sort of a start. Now I got that song stuck in my head. I'm not a big fan of
Ignium ore scanning. That'll come in handy. Ignium is an ore that is highly flammable and can be used for automated power generation. Research the burner generator to utilize it.
Not very much, though.
Ignium is buried beneath the ground. Use the scanner and your drill to find it.
Now normally I would eat all this out by hand. It's so much better. Last time it was up on the surface, literally inside the base. I really just want to dig out enough so I'm at the top of it. Maybe a little bit. Oh, I got it. See right there, if you see where it says size 3 by 15, that's what I'm looking for. See, ultimately, I want 2 here for this, and then you need like this. We'll say extract, right? And then we want one more belt for the 2 belt for there. With ignium, I'm not going to use that fast right now, and I'm not going to build an elaborate system right now. So I'm just going to line them up and then run them out. Since at the start, the only thing I'll use ignium for is to power generators. I'm not going to worry about it. Just so I can have somewhere to put this. Why? I don't have any plates. Okay. Two up because each of those is going to be 1 by 2. So this way you can have your ramps coming up and then off over here. Go to the generator. Probably turn that down because you might push it back down a little bit. It'll probably start getting this. I don't want to put that. I wonder if oh, okay, that's just a box that's always there. Shown that you don't have anything to do with. That's one of the flaws in this game. Is that I don't gather a bunch of stuff, and then at some point you no longer use it at all. And your only solution is just to have you dump it in an incinerator. And then I don't know what happens because I've never built one.
Okay, right. Right back. Okay. I need one of those cool like buttons that you push that like puts like a I'll be right back and it shows like a little dancing monkey or something. Turn my little fan on. Let's get a little warm in here. I gotta fix it. I gotta take it down from up there.
I was gonna condition this in first, and then I'll fix this way when I come back and I'll be like, what did I do? Hold on, where the heck was I? Okay. It's around here somewhere. Nope. There it is. Oh, way wrong place. What do I have? That one, and then fine tune. I'm going to put down the second belt on. There. Where do I want the ignium? No, right here is good. I wish I could. Remember, in this game, whatever these floors are touching, which they are not currently touching, like this isn't touching that. Because I don't think it is. I don't think that carries. this will just basically be like anybody else's streams when they first started out. You go back and look at like their streams. It's like them and like nobody else. No respect. I'm not really out of much idea. It's not gonna let me put his name in there. That's okay. That is okay. I did think it would, but I guess not. I guess I just gotta sit here and keep filling this thing full of. This game isn't one of those games where you have to spend a lot of time doing stuff, but I think there will be, like when it's making, like when it's building this stuff of bread, there won't be very much for me to do at some point. I won't be very much doing stuff. Back to bed. Yeah, up here, watch. I moved the cat food to keep it. Flavors, you'll sit there and stare at it. As he doesn't want anything new either, he just wants cat treats. Because he thinks that's what food is. He thinks cat food is cat treats. Come on, burner generator, hurry up. Do not want to keep using names. This is usually the part where I alt-tab and then I start browsing the internet and watching YouTube videos. That's what I'd like to do. I'd like to do, okay, while I'm thinking about it, I found this really cool series of TikTok videos where it starts out with like just a screen and it's kind of like a radio-y sounding voice, and it goes, whatever you do, don't scroll. you are now in a copy of Earth. The Earth died in like 2019, and like according to this video, it's really kind of creepy when you're like 2 o'clock in the morning, like kind of scrolling through, desperately trying to get tired to fall asleep, and it starts talking about how Earth blew up, and they took pieces of Earth and they put it back together, and you're not supposed to exist in this timeline. You were supposed to die in 2019, but you're still alive. And it makes you tingle, because like part of you wants to believe that you somehow slipped into a reality where you're the main character, and now it's all about you, right? And they're just great, and it kind of reminded me of this project I wanted to do, which I'll make a different thing for it, because I kind of want to start a new way of doing YouTube, and I don't want to talk about it too much, because I don't want somebody to stumble along this and steal my idea and do it before I can do it. Run out of glue. No, I don't think it's going to do it. Yeah, okay, see, because there's like a little, right here along the side, there's a little sliver that's going down. Right, and then, they're talking about how, if something glitches, it's not a glitch, it's you paying attention, or I'm gonna try to find them all and try to sort of piece them together and see if I can figure out which order they should go in. So they're on TikTok, so probably the order that is. Okay, so I'm gonna start off with 1, 2, 3, 4 burner generators. That's what happens with power lines. I know you're supposed to switch over to Steam and stuff, but I'm like, this game goes by so fast that do we really need steam generators? That's the first one. I like how I'm talking like somebody else is playing this with me. Yes, we're going to together. What do you mean together? We're not doing this together. There. Now, progress stats. 50 kilowatts of power, and barely any use. Yeah, maybe. I'll let them run out. I mean, eventually, I will relocate these. I mean, that's plenty of dirt. In fact, you want to see something scary? Google yourself, or better yet, ask ChatGPT. ChatGPT on things that I had posted so long ago. I felt ashamed of what I had said. I literally have been going to these websites trying to make their friends laugh, and they got caught up in stuff that was going on at the time, and that's why I'm willing to give anybody a chance if he wants to change, because I want the same thing for me. That guy that said some edgy, was being an edgy word, doesn't excuse what he said, but it does put context to it. So, it's on the tip of my tongue. So, this guy, he said, oh, there's a thing. I don't remember exactly, right there. I don't know exactly what he said, but I know it's terrible. They basically got him fired, quotation marks, fired from doing it. At the time I said he was fired. doing a little Lego, go do some other projects, rather than that was interesting. Because when you're making you're not letting them go. You're not gonna go. Okay, so like stuff like 20 years ago. Who cares? Oh, of course I put this in the back. Done. Done. Done something. Something done. James done? James done. Good James done. Anyways, he said some really terrible stuff back in the past. Somebody quit it up and started attacking for it. And sure, like maybe if he had attacked it, I don't know, 10 years ago, maybe he would have been right. It's different. I'm not trying to but anyways, I'm trying to get rid of that stuff. I was like when I was in college, I liked to play whenever I did the furry, play characters, whatever they want to play. So I was into Rift, Dungeons and Dragons, all the kind of fantasy role-playing books. Final Fantasy, Super Nintendo games, things like that. Like I'm still into JRPGs, like the turn-based combat, but I also kind of like the newer stuff sometimes. But I would go onto these forums, and I didn't really think about the future. Okay? I didn't think about when I was posting stuff that someday I might have a job that matters, or I might be doing something like this. Like I didn't think this was going to be a thing in the future. But like I posted things, joking about this or joking about that. I'm not that person anymore, and if I had to, I'd apologize. It's not a problem. I apologize right now that I don't see what my past has to do with my present, right? So I posted terrible things, and I went back and once it's on the internet, it's forever, and I didn't really understand the meaning of that back then, and that's why I always tell kids, like when you're posting things like, I'm gonna come over there and kill you, and rape you, or whatever. Like you're not Eminem. You can't make a song about raping your mom, and then 10 years later, people bring it up and go, yeah, so what? That was me back then. Who cares? People are gonna hold that shit against you forever. And I was very angry. I thought everybody else was causing my problems. And it wasn't. It was me. I was the cause of my problems. Kids didn't like me in school probably because I thought I was better than everybody else, or I had that perception. Like I'm the uppity kid who doesn't deserve to be uppity. And I wasn't. I just had been picked on all my life, so I didn't trust people. So I didn't want to be around them, and adults they didn't seem to pick on me, so maybe those adults didn't like me. There was rumors that my math teacher didn't really like me all that much. He just tolerated me because I was in his class. But I don't know if that's true or not. I don't even think he's alive. I think he's dead. Okay, but I'll just Google it real quick while I'm waiting for something. I guess he is, he may be gone. Yeah, I think he may be, oh no, he's still alive, I guess. I'm not going to say who he is because it'd be easier to find out who I am. No, maybe he is gone. Oh no, Brian reconciles. It's really hard to. That's him. Wow. I'd like to. If I ever get big enough where I have the money to travel, and I don't have any illusions that I will, I would like to go back to my old town and kind of do a. This is where I used to live, and I used to live in that house right there that doesn't exist anymore because it burned down. I would love to. I would love to go and get find out who has the master copies. I think that's what they're called, of the yearbooks for each year I was there at that school, and get those and have those just kind of like to have, because I was really not I was not really that fat. I was just not likable, I guess. You know, for whatever reason. I think it was my attitude, like I didn't hang out with kids. Okay. Alright, set 57 kilowatts, that's more than enough for a while. Let me go ahead and get rid of these. Yeah, because they're not really doing anything other than polluting the atmosphere. Maybe I'll every time I get a full container of wood, maybe I'll just kind of build a generator and put it down there. But this, and that in there. Oh, and that. This, put. Okay, so 4 burner generators. 7 kilowatts of power, almost none of it. So when I restart the stream, probably later today or tomorrow, whatever, what I want to do is, see, I got all these holes from things. I want to extend this out as far as I can without touching that. Like, I don't want to remove all of this just to make a base, because it looks stupid. So I want to figure out what sort of space I can get. So I'm going to go that way, which is north. So I'm going to go that way, a certain distance, and then that way, and go back down. Now make a big square base. So on this floor, the so-called bottom floor, I'm going to put all of my processing. So I'm going to have some spot where I have one of those freight elevators, and it's only going to bring the one resource up, and it's going to process the resources on the bottom floor. And then this way, when I'm done, what'll happen is that as I have to go further and further out, I don't know how far I'm going to have to go out, but I think this goes on forever. The further and further I go out, you need a resource. I think that's all you might. I don't know what that is. Anyways, the further and further I have to go out to get ignium or technium or xenoferrite or whatever. I think there's some more right here. There's some more xenoferrite. I want it to have to come back in just to one spot, instead of me having to like rip up a bunch of lines and redo them and then all that kind of stuff. It'll save me time and energy. So put that there. And then I also want to set up auto crafting for, well, not auto crafting, just, yeah, I guess I did technically auto crafting for these floors so that I have enough to start filling it in, and then I can start setting up the production lines for different things. Like, I'll probably keep these generators down here. Like, I'll probably just, like right here basically, right next to this. Because there is other things you use this for, like you use it to make steel and powder, some sort of powder. I don't remember what you do with the powder because I didn't get that far. I just thought you could take the powder and do the other thing, but I think you could take this and you could make capsules or something, energy cells, and then you could feed them into this, and then they last forever. So, but I also want to do my ore processing up here. So I'll have like say I have red ore coming in here, right? Red. I'm just gonna call it red ore. Who cares what it is? I think it's iron. I'm gonna have the red ore iron, whatever, coming in, and I'm gonna have it go like to different lines of ore processing, and then go into a storage bin, and then out from there I'll have it go to wherever it needs to go, so that I never have to, like I said, redo the bottom floor. Because the first one I did, I cleared out huge chunks of land and just flattened everything. It took me like 2 days of just solid work, flattening it all out. I had storage containers everywhere because I didn't know that you could get rid of it and it would just erase it. I didn't know there was an option for that. And then the second time, I didn't do any of that. I built this floor, but I built it really high up in the sky, so it was like a huge pain in the butt to get up there. And then the third time, I built it towards the ground, but I built these huge storage areas that at the end of the day made no sense for how I was doing it, because there was no room to do much of anything with it. And so this is like my fourth big playthrough, where now I'm going to try to learn from those other three, and then I'm going to play Satisfactory. I kind of want to keep going, but I also got other things I need to do. Like, I'd like to, like, at some point I may have to, oh, and then when I go up, right, I'll go up. Like, I'm going to work on that too, but I'm going to do everything on here. I'm not going to, like, so here's what I think I'm going to do. I think this might work. Because when I'm waiting for something, like if I know something's going to take like a half an hour to an hour, I'll just take OBS and do an overlay, like, of a video window, so that I can play a video and then, like, watch it with whoever happens to be here. Oh, wait, there's 2 views. Is there someone else here? I'm getting all excited for no reason. No, it's just, yeah, there's no one else here. I don't know why I thought there was. Anyways, okay, so I can't see my mouse cursor. Ooh. So, like, I'll build up. Let me just go and make them all. I got more down the way. So what I like to do when I learn from the other ones, so I'll make a corner, right? So let's just say this is my corner, and then I go up like this to the top to mark out where the building sections are. So we'll put it like that for now, so it's easier for me. And then I'll build this going out like this. And then I think I'm going to do the back. I like to say, I consider this to be the buildable area, and I consider this to be a potential wall. So what I'll do is go like this, I'll I could ever find out ways to see the visual chunks, let's go and get rid of that. Then I'll build it on chunk lines, because as you can see in this map, you can see like there's chunks. Ooh, I wonder if there's a way to do that. Let me Google it real quick. How to view chunk borders in Foundry. No. Wait, really? No, that's Minecraft. Wait. Control, okay. Control Alt Shift O. Control Shift. Control, I didn't know there was a cheat mode. Control Alt Shift, let's see. Let's try this. Control Alt Shift. Not seeing it. I think there was a Control U. Probably. You know what? There it is. Oh. That's one. Really? Let's see. Because if I do anything and it screws up my game, I don't want to do that. Okay. Control Shift. It is white mode. Well, now I know. Now I know how people have been generate benchmark factory. I'm gonna go into a clean game and find out what happens. Auto research, cheap modular buildings, attestation. I really wish I had not known this existed, but if it's the only way I can see chunk borders. Well, since I'm streaming everything, anybody who cares about cheating that much will know I'm not, because I'm streaming the whole game. So if there's any gaps, other than, let's say, YouTube, no, it still says I'm streaming. Honestly, I don't care if people cheat. For me, it's like, look, that's the way you want to play your game, that's the way you want to play your game. Like, people who set, like, games to the easiest mode, if that's how you want to play, that's how you want to play. I don't judge you. You don't need my permission. I don't know why I'm clearing those out. Again, but I'm trying not to cheat in this game, and I'm going to cheat just to see the chunk orders, I guess. I don't know why they can't just be a setting. Because then I like to build my base on chunks, because it's like something requires a chunk to be loaded, which I don't think that's how this game works. I like it to already be loaded. Minecraft. I'm going to play Minecraft. I'm looking for a mod pack to play that has Plutonic Evolution in it. I think that game, I think that mod went away. So the only way I'm going to get to play it is with, please you can place a freaking belt from here to Eternia, but like you can only place 28 of these. No, 30, 38, right? 38. That's it. But if you want to place a belt, you can place it like 900 feet away. This is typically how I do it. Maybe I will do some stuff offline. Like, the super tedious stuff, like building the platform, you know? But yeah, maybe not. Because I'm not really concerned with it being perfect. I'm just concerned with it being in a way that I don't have to do a whole bunch of unnecessary construction. Hey, that was my father. There. All done. Well, nobody was here during stream. What? Somebody has to come on later on in yeah, that's what no, I think I will. Okay, so what I think I will do, I'm going to do like direwolf 1. So the only thing I'm going to move, after I turn this stream on, later today, right now, I'm going to tear this up. No, I'm going to keep that there. I'm going to keep harvesting. I'm going to clean out this. Squeeze out. I'm going to make more of those. I'm going to fill in where I'm going to have space. And then I'm going to move these, probably expand them so that I can get this process done. I don't know. I don't think I'm going to expand them. I don't know for sure. Oh, wait, okay, so anyways, maybe what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a little bit of work. Because realistically, I think it would take me months to try to stream all this online and all that kind of stuff. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to build this platform out. And then, so it's not floating, because I like to look at floating stuff. I'm going to build like feet. Probably out of, do I have that? I don't have that available yet. So I'm going to learn, learn the decor, and then I'm going to use the decor to build feet, so it looks like the building is off the ground. I don't know if there's any ability to make it look like a carport or something down here, but I'm gonna eventually try. And then I'm going to move these up there. I'm gonna make sure that I have it set so that I can put the ore processing down and then just kind of connect it in. So it's kind of like a nice thing. Don't think you learn the ore stuff until you don't learn that until the next science, and I won't do that part because I want to put together the red science first, or the blue science first, which I think is just rods and elbows. I call them elbows. It's this machinery parts and rods. So that's not actually that hard. It's just plates and then convert it to the machinery parts and feed them together and you cut sciences. But I'm just gonna basically do the prep work for the moving, and then I'll come back and stream that part. But yeah, I don't think anybody's here. Let's take a look. If there is, I'll say hi to someone. Now arriving between, oh yeah, the other thing I need to do to my computer is, I want to do video editing. Like I want to take the live stream and like chop out all of my rambling stories, and then chop it up into just one episode. So I have the live stream, and then I cut it down into just a video. It's like 30 minutes or less. I don't like listening to my own voice, but I guess I'll just have to learn to like it. And then, or possibly some produced work. Like I've been watching videos on how to edit videos and how to do it, and I have an idea for another channel. But here's the thing. The thing in that channel is going to be, I'm always going to answer as the character. I'm not going to answer as me. As sort of world building exercise. So when that person is replying, they're replying as that character, whereas I'll be replying as myself. And I know it probably won't go. People probably cringe and think it's stupid, and I'll probably think it's stupid and give up. But who knows? It says. So anyways, I ordered a 1 terabyte SSD for like $50 that I'm gonna put in. I'm gonna put Linux on it, probably Arch Linux, so I can be a man like PewDiePie. Plus, I kind of like the challenge, like it's a puzzle. And I don't think I'll be able to stream that, but who knows? Maybe we can get it done. Anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and end this here, and I'll probably pick this up tomorrow morning or later today. Probably tomorrow morning because my bandwidth is a lot better in the morning. Yeah. Hey, thanks for thanks for watching. If anybody does, and if not, well, at least I tried. And sometimes that's all that matters. Have a good day.